Good morning, everyone. Today we're going to be doing top to bottom analysis on Australian dollars, US dollars. And as usual, we'll start by identifying our zones. Our zones are, in essence, higher level support and resistance level, or higher time frame support and resistance level, are essentially what we call our zones. Higher time frame support and resistance levels are essentially what we call our zones. So, this is a monthly zone. Now, we'll identify our zones and let's see if we can identify any potential trend lines. Okay, so, but before that, let's continue to identify our zones. This is a monthly zone. This is another monthly zone. And this is also a monthly zone. Now let's see if we can draw a trend line on this monthly time frame. Let's see if we can draw a trend line. Okay, so we can draw a trend line across these points like this. So this will be our monthly trend line. This is our monthly trend line. So now we'll go down to the 1 week time frame. And we'll do the exact same thing. We'll identify our zones, we'll identify our supports, we'll identify our zones, and then we'll identify our trend lines. Our zones are essentially support and resistance levels. So we come to the 1 week time frame, identify any potential support and resistance levels, and then draw a trend line. Okay, so where do we have any potential zones? I have a zone here. Let's see a weekly zone. I think I've noticed that I can make these videos much quicker than I used to be able to make them. There's also a zone around here. It's another weekly zone. And I don't think I can draw a trend line. I can draw a trend line, but it's just end up overlapping. To just end up overlapping with the monthly trend line. Okay, so let's go down to the daily time frame. Let's go down to the daily time frame now. Let's do the exact same thing we've done prior. We'll identify our zones. We'll identify our support and resistance levels, which we are collectively calling zones. We'll identify our support and resistance levels, which we are collectively calling zones. Then we'll identify any potential trend lines that we can draw. We'll identify any potential trend lines that we can draw. There's another one here. So all of these are zones on the daily time frame because price either finds support or resistance on this level multiple times, and sometimes even support or resistance. So these are all zones. These are our higher level zones. So the next thing for me to do now is to draw a trend line. So off of the daily time frame, I can draw a trend line from here straight to about here. Let's change the color. So this will be our daily trend line. So now we've identified we've identified our daily zones, we've identified our monthly zones and our monthly trend line, our weekly zones and our weekly trend line, and even now our daily zones and our daily trend line. So next thing we're going to do is to identify our trend origin on the daily time frame, which is obviously here at the first point of the, what do you call it, daily bearish trend. So we have our trend origin. This is where we have our trend origin. And then let's check our market structure. We have an impulsive move to here, correctional here, impulsive, correctional, impulsive, correctional, impulsive, correctional, and then price has been on an impulsive move this entire time. So meaning we should be expecting a new correctional for another impulsive. Let's make this black. Okay, so prices has been on an impulsive move for the last length of time. So now we should mark out our market structure, our higher highs and our higher lows. And we'll start by using a blue line to identify our lower highs, and then we'll use a red line to identify our lower lows, since this is a very clear downtrend. Okay, so let's use red to identify our higher lows. Okay, so let's delete this guy. Okay, so now we've identified our trend origin and even a trend line, and we've marked out our market structure, that is my pause for correction move. Price is currently on an impulsive move and looks to be switching to a correctional phase. So we'll go down to the 4-hour time frame and we'll check. We'll go down to the 4-hour time frame and we'll check the red lines. Let's not just call them red lines. Let's use a blue box to identify these points. Okay, so now I've highlighted 4 blue boxes. We'll go down to the 4-hour time frame and see if there are any common patterns that appear within these 4 blue boxes. If there are any common patterns that appear within these 4 blue boxes, then that pattern will be my common reversal pattern. That is that whenever that pattern appears, it means that price is switching from a correctional phase to an impulsive phase. Sorry, from an impulsive to a correctional, not the other way around. So we have a W here. We also have a, it doesn't really fit, so let's just say we have a W here. We have another W here. This one is more like, we have a W here like this, and we also have a W here like this. So I think the best way to draw this probably the best way to draw this. You have a W like this, and price goes down here. It comes back up here. There's no particular pattern on the third bounce. There is this single observable pattern. But on this 4th bounce, you can clearly see a W pattern here. A W pattern with long candlestick wick to the base. So now, in order for us to be sure that the downward trend has ended, we need to spot a W pattern. If we can spot a W pattern, we'll know that price has switched from a impulsive phase to a correctional phase. But even if we spot a W pattern, we won't actually bother to sell this pair because we'd rather be moving along with the trend And moving along with the trend for the most part usually means following along with the impulsive move, not trading the corrections. Anyways, that's it for top to bottom analysis on USD Australian dollars. The best thing to do at this point is actually to wait for a retracement to here and then sell down. So this is actually what you should be wanting. This is actually what you should be expecting. So yeah, that's it on top to bottom analysis on USD AUD.